shift blues, so we fire up the stream. Two dads raising hell, chasing whiskey dreams. Soap suds spilling like some midnight truth. Talking live from the tub, don't need no booth. Two dads, one tub, where the whiskey flows. Streaming half naked where the wild tales grow. Laugh so hard, spit whiskey on the mic. Night shift rebels broadcasting live. Lost connection can't kill this show. Reset the route.
Oh no!
What's up, everybody?
What happened to Gas? Oh no!
Oh, Gas is
Why
man,
are
he's
you
not
a
here.
bean?
Well, we decided to go on vacation for this episode. That's why we're doing a Thursday. Travel time. I had to get down here to the beach so I could enjoy myself with my gaming controller while swimming in the ocean.
Just a boy and his gaming controller.
Yeah, I just carry it around with me everywhere.
For reals?
It's my safety blanket.
Oh, it's so true. What? Okay, I know I just made that a generic controller, but like, if you had a safety controller, a security controller, what would it be?
It's probably the Switch Pro controller.
Dude,
to me, that is probably my favorite design on a controller.
Dude, have you got your hands on the Switch 2 one yet?
I have it. It's sitting right here in front of me.
Dude, I was touching Elijah's controller for like a solid
Sure you were.
For a solid 20 minutes last night. Like, just feeling it out. Holy crap, it's probably one of my favorite controllers now.
It's nice. Look, just playing around with my Switch 2 for the little bit of time I did last night after walking out of GameStop at 12:37. Like, it took about an hour to get everything set up because I had to come upstairs and get my Switch 1 so I could do the transfer and all that stuff. And then, unlike y'all, I got the crappy code for Mario Kart. Y'all probably got the actual cartridge.
Yep.
I got the code, which whatever, it doesn't matter. You don't own it either way.
Yeah, for real.
So I had to wait for that to download and all that, but I sent you a picture last night, like the size difference between this and my OLED. Like, I have an OLED, so it's the bigger Switch.
Dude, Elijah still has his launch Switch. He has an OLED and he has a Switch 2. And so we put them all three next to each other last night, and the size difference is freaking insane.
It's crazy. So, like, I even put it up against my kid's Switch Lite. And that Switch Lite looks like a freaking, was it the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, GBA. The GBA.
Yeah, it looks like a Game Boy Advance in your hand.
Dude. We did a lot of stuff. Some of it I wish we streamed, but we had to be so quiet. But one of Elijah's really good friends from childhood, Archer, who's sometimes on our stream, came by, and we all were just kind of geeking out over it. Dude, even like, there's a couple of like things I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like this. The Joy-Cons feel lighter, but not in a bad way.
No, and I still don't know how I feel about the magnetic.
Yes, we're all worried that
connection.
I'm worried that it's gonna snap that little center part, the center connector off.
Yeah, and smart me, I got the warranty mainly because if it breaks right now, you have to ship it back to to Nintendo.
Which for you is a lot. For me, it's not that long.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but for me, it's like, that's a couple-week process.
Yeah, for us, it's a couple-day process, just because we're literally 45 minutes away.
So I said, what the hell? I added the $70. I got the 2-year protection. So now if it breaks over the next 2 years, I can just go to GameStop and they'll give me another one.
Yeah, and then it's super chill. They're really good about replacing it too.
So, funny story, the first time I did the warranty at GameStop, so I went to go buy the OLED when it launched, because I didn't have a Switch yet. I had a Switch Lite, but I didn't have the normal Switch. So the OLED launched. I was like, well, I'm gonna go get the OLED because it's the better version. It's an upgrade. So I went to go get it, and they didn't have any.
Dang.
They only got like 25 in. They were like they got short stocked.
Ooh, yeah.
So the guy looks at me and he goes, "Hey, buy the Switch, buy the warranty, just get the year warranty, and we'll call you when the OLEDs come in." I was like, "Okay." I was like, I don't think the warranty covers that." So he calls me, tells me the OLEDs come in, and he goes, "Hey, weren't you the guy that was telling me that your Switch is not charging correctly when on dock?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "Okay, well, why don't you come in? We'll get it swapped out." He goes, "We also got the OLEDs." I was like, "Okay." So I went in and I swapped it in and just paid the extra $50 to get the OLED back.
Nice. Yep.
So I got a brand new OLED.
That's awesome.
So I didn't have to sit and wait. Like I was able to play Breath of the Wild and all that, but and I went to go get the OLED mainly because of Arceus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was the Arceus launch
Was with the OLED, yeah.
was with the OLED and all that. So um but yeah, I mean, so far so good on the Switch 2. I
Yep.
know there's not a whole lot out for it right now. I mean, you got Mario Kart Worlds is the big thing.
Yep. Launch title.
And then, they've got Cyberpunk 2077. That's just, it's not, I can buy it on Steam. Like, so I didn't see a point in.
On a technical level, I'm interested to see how that game runs, because I know people love playing that on their Steam Deck, and this is technically supposed to be more powerful than a Steam Deck. So
I'm going to tell you right now, somebody at Nintendo was looking at like the Lenovo Legion,
yeah,
the ROG Ally, and the Steam Deck, and looking at their designs when they made this one.
Oh, yep.
Because it looks a lot like all of those, size-wise, screen-wise, just the feel of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's thinner. I will give them that. It is thinner than all of those.
It's crazy how thin it is. Like, it is legitimately insane how thin it is. And like, it's thin, but it doesn't feel flimsy.
But I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's solid. Well, when I got it last night, I was like, this is heavier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
I was like, okay. And because I got two separate bags, because I got the control. I also got the Pro Controller too. I got I got Bravely Default, the
remaster,
Flying Fairy remaster.
Yeah.
And then a free screen protector because I got the warranty, which I'm not mad about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad that they gave me, because I was just gonna order it on Amazon. Because you can find them cheaper, like about a week after launch and everything. Yep. Everybody makes their accessories or launches their accessories. So, but no, man. I mean, I played around with it last night for a little bit. We'll probably get into it with Mario Kart a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I have opinions.
My first impressions of that game are complicated.
I think I'm at the same spot.
Yeah.
I think I'm for something that's been in development since 2017?
2017. Yeah, officially.
Yeah. So you're looking at 8 years of development. I don't know if I got 8 years worth of development out of it. Yeah, I don't know. I've only done one Grand Prix so far. I'm gonna have to try everything else. I'm gonna have to play it with others. Like, we're gonna have to test it.
Oh yeah. And Elijah is literally, fun fact, since Gas isn't here, I'm gonna even shamelessly promote myself even more tonight. I think any minute now, at like some point, oh no, we have 15 minutes. In like 15 to 20ish minutes, while we're streaming this, Elijah's gonna be streaming Mario Kart World for the sake of it's the hot new thing that everyone's curious about.
Yep.
So feel free after whoever we raid tonight, let's to come swing by our stream if you want to go see gameplay of it. Because Elijah's thoughts about Mario Kart are going to be way more nuanced than mine will ever be. because this is a guy who has mastered every single deep mechanic of Mario Kart for a possible game except for maybe Double Dash.
Okay. Well, and that's so I might message Elijah after the podcast and be like, "Hey, send me your friend code so
you can
let's
hop on
play."
with him. So you can hop on with him.
Yeah. Yeah, and because don't get me wrong, I like Mario Kart, but for me, Mario Kart is more fun with others.
Yes. And I'm very happy that last night I got to experience 3-player Mario Kart start.
Yeah.
Very, very happy with that. Even with that, I still have thought. Do we just want to get into it now while we... Okay, so everyone who's listening right now, where the hell is Gas? Gas had work things. He's going to be on the podcast at some point tonight. We're going to do our regular rigmarole.
He's on his way.
Yeah, regular rigmarole, all of those fun things. However, originally this episode, Panic wasn't supposed to be here, and I had things already planned. So screw that. I'm doing those things with Panic now to open the show. And then we could go back to our regular scheduled bullshit later.
Yeah, I mean, I have I just got what apparently they were going to talk about tonight. So
yeah,
my opinions are going to be fresh. The only thing I'm sad about is y'all are going to miss like my randomness because I'm a bean now.
Yeah. I mean, we can turn on cameras as soon as Gas gets here. I only have this up because framing an OBS is weird with Discord.
Oh yeah. No, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is fine for tonight. But okay, so all right, so I played the first Grand Prix.
Yep.
Crap, what is it? It's Mario.
It's Mario Bros. Circuit. I know the last one's
something like that.
The last one's DK Spaceport. I'm trying to remember the two that are in between. One of them's like a city level.
Anyways.
One of them's like a canyon level.
Yeah. So, played that last night and played it again today with my kids. I let them play. I got Mario Kart. So, I'm not mad about that. It's Mario Kart.
Yep.
It is 100% Mario Kart. Did I get anything more than Mario Kart 8? I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've played a little bit more than you, I think. Because we played more than just the first cup. So last night we played the first cup. We did one of the, what's it called? Knockout Tour. That's what it's called. We did one round.
Okay.
We did one round of Knockout Tour. I'm not impressed with Knockout Tour, but we also played the easiest Knockout Tour route. So it basically felt like a straight line because the easiest one is basically just a straight line. So I want to see what with Knockout Tour, you could either pick from similar to Grand Prix, 8 custom Knockout Tour cups, but they're different levels connected to one another. But they're not the same as the regular cups in the base game, or you can make your own route. We did that, and then we did versus mode, not like the balloon battle mode, but we did versus race where we're like, okay, we know a couple of returning maps are coming back in this game, and we played some of those returning maps.
Okay. And see, I haven't made it that far.
Yeah.
So right now, my only experience is just the first cup. Visually, it's beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous game.
Visually, it's absolutely beautiful. I like it so far. But is it everything I wanted? Yes and no.
Yeah.
So far.
So,
but I've got to figure out, like, I've got to go experience that open worldness that they touted so much in the launch or in the trailer,
in the opening presentation. Yeah.
Yeah, the presentation. DK Spaceport was fun. I enjoyed it.
I think out of the first cup, that's the best level.
It 100% is. Yeah. You do have a little bit more of your shortcuts that you can take.
Yes.
Like there's more of those in your routes. The one track where you go through the city, so it's not actual technical laps. like actual laps. It's like
It's one straight
like
shot.
a road course.
Yeah.
It's a road course.
Yeah, the road course one.
That confused me at first, but then I actually enjoyed it.
So here's that's where Elijah and I are a little bit of a disagreement, though. So where you're going through the city, technically the first 2 laps of that are only in Grand Prix mode. So every single individual map, with the exception of there's a handful of maps that are like you start from beginning to end. There are in Grand Prix, the only map you do 3 laps on is technically the first one. And then the other ones, you start at the end of the last course, you drive to the next course, and then you do 1 lap around the actual course.
Yep.
And I think for that city level, like you're saying, it does work going from one course to another because it just feels like you're driving through one long course. But
it does.
The next level, I don't think it works for that one.
It doesn't. It was a weird feel on that third, the third race. And I don't even know if it really worked for the DK Spaceport either.
I think it did because that map is a straight shot map. So instead of it being it's 2 checkpoints before you get to the map, it's 1 checkpoint and then 3 other checkpoints going through DK Spaceport.
Okay. I'll have, like I said, I've just done it. I have to play it more, and which that may happen after the podcast tonight.
Yeah, Elijah's always down to clown with Mario Kart.
So now I will say the biggest thing. So I played a little bit of the Bravely Default remaster today, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. It is a great JRPG. It's very fun. So Bravely Default is one of my favorites from the 3DS.
Yep.
And I haven't played this one. And to be honest, I didn't play 2 either. So I might actually go back and play 2, but I've heard I don't know. I've heard mixed emotions on it.
2 is not as good as 1 or Flying Fairy, because Flying Fairy is like 1.5.
Yeah, it has that 3DS feel to it.
Yeah, it's like 1.5. Honestly, have you ever tried Octopath Traveler?
I have them, and I want to. I'm gonna end up playing them. That'll probably be a stream in the near future. Because I've heard great things.
Octopath Traveler 1 is a really, really good game. Octopath Traveler 2 is a great game.
Okay, and they're standalones, right?
They are standalones. The similarities between the two is that all of the base classes for the characters are the same, but then it changes who those characters are in a different world and a different setting. Like they're 2 different types of fantasy games on aesthetic wise. However, the main complaint about Octopath Traveler 1 is that you have a bunch of individual stories that you basically get like 8 mini RPGs that have a secret boss that kind of connects them at the end. Versus Octopath Traveler 2 is 8 characters that you can your starting point can be different with any of these characters, but it's one big grand story.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So I played about an hour and a half of that today. And then I had a meeting, so I got off of it. And I thought about jumping back into it, and I was like, well, I want to kind of save that for just like me time where I actually have time to sit down and focus on it.
Yeah.
So after that meeting, I just I popped in Breath of the Wild because having the expansion pass, I get the free upgrade.
Dude, how is it?
Man, it is absolutely beautiful. Now, here's the thing. The new graphics rendering, if you were just to turn it on, put it on normal TV and not change anything or not make sure things are set up, it's subtle differences. It's not a massive overhaul.
Yeah.
But it's not as clunky. It's a lot smoother. The loading times are faster. It's more stable. Stable's probably the correct word for it. But now if you go in, you turn on the HDR.
Ooh, yeah.
On your Switch, because that HDR does translate into the TV as long as you have an HDR TV, and it pops it up in 4K resolution on a 4K TV. Man, it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful.
I'm so freaking excited. Oh.
The colors pop, that shaded art style that they use, that kind of
the cell shaded.
Yeah, cell shaded, but not quite as over the top as like your Borderlands.
Yeah,
like that subtle cell shade.
I call it like the Studio Ghibli cell shade.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so yeah, it's more Studio Ghibli esque.
Yeah.
So, but it's beautiful. Like, it is beautiful. So what that does is that turns around and excites me for what Zelda game that they are going to launch on this system.
Dude, okay, hold on. So do you want to know what the rumors are for what that could be?
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so we have two big rumors because the last time that we got a break between Zelda games, between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we got
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. We got a Hyrule Warriors game, and we got a Zelda remaster. Then we got Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So far, we've got a graphical sequel to Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom after Tears, a sequel to Age of Calamity with the next one, Age of Imprisonment, which has come out, which means we're either set before the next Zelda game for a new remaster of a game. And everyone's thinking we're finally getting the Wii U ports for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. So we have those games. But then the big rumor is they're doing open world Ocarina of Time remake.
So that would be amazing.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, so I never played Wind Waker. So I don't know the difference between the GameCube Wind Waker and the Wii U Wind Waker. So I don't know. Unless it was just like a quality upgrade.
So they basically redid the entire graphics engine to redo the art style. Some people complain it uses too much bloom, but like they basically redid most of the models, even though the models didn't really need touching up, and they redid the entire lighting engine. And the biggest gameplay quality of life stuff, such as every time you needed to change direction as you're sailing, you had to use your game's equivalent of the ocarina, which is a conducting baton. You had to change the wind every time you wanted to change direction for your sail. There is a way to where if you want to play that with that original experience, you can do that. Or there's a new sail upgrade that just lets the wind automatically blow whichever way you want to go.
Oh, okay. So not anything crazy. Like no, the story wise, it's the same.
It's the same game. It's just with 90% optional quality of life changes. And then there's a very big side quest / main quest that to get like the Triforce pieces similar to Zelda 1.
Okay.
They shrunk that quest down significantly.
Gotcha.
But instead, they were
the only reason why I ask is because the GameCube, ports.
Yeah, the GameCube NSO port. Yeah.
Yep, which is now on the Switch too.
I would say you can play the GameCube one, and nothing much is lost from not playing the Wii U version or waiting for the port of the Wii U version. In fact, it might be a sense. I think no matter what happens, if you bring it over from the Wii U to the Switch, the Wii U version has some quality of life features that the Switch just cannot do because of the second screen.
So, and that makes sense. So it might even just be the GameCube style port.
Yeah. It might,
with basic quality updates.
Yeah. So it's the one time where it's like you can't do some of those quality of life improvements without a second touch screen for you to access your entire inventory or to access your entire map without having to pull up a map screen every time you're in a dungeon.
Okay. Well, and so we also got Soul Calibur,
dude,
in that GameCube port.
It's the first time we've been
And
able
what
to
was
play
the other one?
F-Zero GX, baby.
That's it, F-Zero GX. So far, that's the only 3 games, but it's still exciting.
Dude, here's the thing. We talk about my childhood of games, it's those 3 games. Like, to start. Like,
So I had a GameCube. I didn't have it long enough for Wind Waker.
oh, yeah.
I bought it. I bought it secondhand off a guy who was getting ready to go on deployment, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll buy it from you." I paid $50 for it.
Dang, good price.
That's because he was broke and needed cigarette money before the deployment. And yeah, you get lucky in the military. And I ended up getting Resident Evil 4 with it.
Yeah, I still have my copy. It's on the shelf right over there. No one can see it, but it's on the shelf over there.
To be honest, that's my favorite version of Resident Evil 4 is the GameCube version. To me, that's the best gameplay version. So, I mean, I'm excited. There's a lot to be excited about with the Switch. Too, I'm happy with it. Like, I have no complaints as far as console itself, the way it looks. I get it. I have Mario Kart Worlds. That's the only legit new game that I have right now.
The only launch title.
The only launch title. But I mean, I can play all my other Switch games on it.
And like,
so I'm fine with that because I have some Switch games that I bought that I haven't even played yet.
Dude,
so
I'm interested to see, because we know some games had intentional updates and some games are just going to run better just because it's on better hardware.
Yeah. So, like, to be honest, I'm curious about Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that port turns out now that we've had hardware in the hands. And it sounds like WB Games and the other studio that was working on it specifically made the port to be optimized for Switch 2. Like, they didn't just port over and just descale things. Like, they specifically optimized it for Switch 2, which is interesting.
Yeah, and so my thought process, I originally thought, okay, we got kind of a shitty version of Hogwarts for the Switch, which, I mean, it's fine. It's
functional.
It's the Switch. Yeah, it's functional. And then I was like, crap, the Switch 2 is going to launch, and it's going to be the Hogwarts Legacy as best it can. But to be honest, I'm anxious to see, because this console might actually be fine with AAA games.
So I was talking with a friend, and he said this: all the Switch 2 ports of games just need to be good enough, because the people who the people who are going to buy it on the Switch 2 are the people who aren't going to have a higher end machine to play it on anyway. So they just
and that's the thing.
Need to be good enough.
Like, I'm never gonna buy a AAA title on my Switch. Like, I have a gaming PC. Like, I have Steam. If it's on Steam, I'm probably gonna get it from there.
Yeah.
Mainly because that's gonna be the best version of whatever I'm looking to play. Quality wise, not always true of the actual game itself, on whether it's ready for that or it's completed or finished.
Yeah.
But what I am gonna play is I'm gonna play the Marios, I'm gonna play the Zeldas, I'm gonna play the Pokemon games, I'm gonna play the Xenoblades.
Whether or not it's actually gonna be Xenoblade or something else, it's a different issue.
Exactly. But like, I'm gonna play those games, the Nintendo exclusives. That's why I have it.
Yep.
And to be honest, it's the only console that I legit will keep until they come out with a new console.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I traded in my Xbox Series X for a Switch 2. But the reasoning being is it's an Xbox. Everything Xbox has, I can play on my PC.
Yeah. Well, tactically going forward, even probably some Switch ports too. Like, Microsoft is just trying to put everything on everywhere. plug. If you didn't download last week's podcast, we talked about it for about 45 minutes. But like Microsoft Play Everywhere, especially now that we know what the actual chipsets officially are as of a few days ago inside of the Switch, has me very interested in what games are going to be easily ported to Switch to.
Which that'll be nice. Like, I mean, it'll be nice if I can play Microsoft specific games
Because like
on the Switch outside of just Nintendo games.
so, okay,
Um,
did you hear who the chip partner is officially for Nintendo Switch 2 though?
No, who is it?
It's Nvidia. Nvidia's doing the chips.
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah. So I saw that.
Yeah. Which
Um,
the type of chips that they're using are the stuff that they use for in China for the handheld PCs there, specifically to stream with Nvidia GeForce Now, their streaming service, which is also over here for streaming PC games onto a thing. I don't know if Nintendo will do it, but I am hopeful that Nintendo will let that service be
If
on the
we get-
Switch.
if we get Nvidia GeForce Now on the Switch, I'll be pumped.
Dude, how insane.
Because I mean, because you just got a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
Like
it's,
you legit just got a Legion or an Ally
Yeah.
or whatever other
PC handheld.
ones are out there.
Yeah, whatever PC
Yeah.
handheld.
So
Like, I don't
I've seen some off-brand PC handhelds that I'm like, I might buy that because it's half the price and it's probably shitty.
dude, it's crazy if they actually do that with Nvidia as their partner, because Nvidia in China, the inklings that we kind of knew that we were going to get HD ports of the Mario 3 All Stars games, those were the Nvidia ports that they sent to China for Nvidia GeForce Now in China. Before we ever got it here was those ports. And that's how we knew we were getting that collection, is because, oh, wait, they released a HD port of Mario 60. Oh, weird, an HD port of Sunshine. Weird, an HD port of Galaxy. Nintendo developed those, but they sent it to China first? That's weird.
Yeah, like I mean, it's going to be, I mean, I might use the term game changer
Yeah.
for Nintendo. If they do that, it will be a game changer. You'll have people that have never even thought about sniffing a Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Being like, hey, that's offering a lot more than what it usually does. And to be honest, I'm nostalgic. Everybody knows it. Now, I'm not a
Gen 1er.
like diehard only. Yeah, I'm definitely not a Gen 1er. Gen 1 has its moments, and it does have some of my favorite Mon, but there's better that came along after. The storyline's not my favorite. Like, there's other stories in the Pokeverse that I like better.
Shameless plug number 2. I'm referencing the fact that we said that Panic loves his nostalgia in the longest episode of the Preston and Panic podcast.
They proceeded to call me out like 3 different times in one podcast.
With love.
Yeah, I mean, but look, Pokemon Go was not the start of my Pokemon adventures. Like, I had Red and Blue on the original Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember sitting in my bedroom at night with my little USB plug-in light, my reading light that plugged into my Game Boy over it so I could see in the dark because my parents said I was supposed to be in bed.
So good.
So, and I still have it downstairs with the accessories and everything. It still works.
I think you and I have the same Game Boy Color too, because I also have the Pikachu.
We do. We have
the Pikachu
we have
edition.
the limited edition Pikachu edition, like Pikachu. That I still have the box for it as well. With the sleeve for Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
So funny enough, that's the only Pokemon game my wife has played is the Yellow one. And it's her favorite.
That makes sense.
It's the only one she will play.
That's fair.
Oh, look, we found my Game Boy. We found the Pikachu edition Game Boy.
Yeah.
And found my Pokemon Yellow, and she spent like 3 months at night laying in bed
That's awesome.
with the light on playing Pokemon Yellow.
So I did that
because
recently.
that was the only game she had when she was a kid.
I did that recently with Crystal, but that was I have an analog pocket, so I've been using that as my main in bed, going back and playing a cart for handheld.
Yeah.
Handheld. I love my analog.
I need to
pocket.
look. I need to look into one of those because
They're pricey.
I mean, as nice as it is having. I mean, the Game Boy Color does fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it still works perfectly. And to be honest, I've got 3 of them. I've got the purple, like the solid purple.
Yeah.
And then I have the clear purple.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I'm trying to remember what it's called. I had that one. That one broke, sadly.
So I have those 3, and then I have the most impressive thing about my original Game Boy is the fact that I still have the original back.
Oh, nice.
With the 1-800 number to Nintendo Power.
Dude, my brother
stickers still on it.
My brother has his collection for Nintendo Power in his room right now, and every once in a while I'll go and be like, "Hey, can I go read an old issue?"
Man, that is one thing I miss. I miss the Nintendo Power magazines,
dude.
Because you got like mini walkthroughs on games.
Okay,
and you got cheat codes. You got all these tips, tricks, and all that kind of stuff. And what GameStop used to do with their was it Game Informer or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
Which is now online only, which pisses me off because I miss.
Well, here's the thing: GameStop doesn't own it anymore. They originally closed down, and now they're back. They got bought out as they closed them down, and now they're back, and they're most likely bringing back the magazine.
Because that was my favorite part about Game Informer is the new games coming out and the rankings, like their ranking systems, and seeing which ones, and then going and buying the shitty ranked ones and being like, I don't know what their problem was with this. It's great.
So I'm going to put you on something. It's not fully the same. However, I do want to put you on this because I do know about this just because of how much of a giant nerd I am. But the Video Game History Foundation this last year started opening up to the public free access to their video game catalog for magazines. 3DO News Club, Casual Connect, CD-ROM Today, CGR, Computer Game Strategy Plus, Electronic Games Monthly, Future Play, all of the Game Informer up until the first time it closes, so fall 1991 to 2024. Everything, all of that is backed up. And their next thing is Nintendo Power that they're going to release for everyone to have.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah, for the next thing for you to go see pumped. Every single issue. Now, Panic, I need you to vamp. I actually have to go poop so bad.
Okay, well, go poop.
Go read an ad read. Have you ever felt like you needed an extra boost of energy quickly? I know I have. Anybody who knows me or listens to Two Dads One Tub knows that I am a bit of a workhorse. Between work, live streaming, and working on 2 podcasts, I live my life at a fast pace. I constantly find myself tired from my day-to-day hustle and bustle, resorting to energy drinks that would just end up making me crash and repeat that cycle all over. Well, thanks to our sponsor, Energy Rocks, we don't have to live through that cycle anymore. Energy Rocks are like the retro pop rocks you had as a kid, infused with clean energy and focus-enhancing ingredients. Now you can have low-sugar candy with benefits. In less than 3 minutes, you feel the boost. All you need to do is pour these tasty pineapple mango or cherry berry crystals directly into your mouth. No pills, no mixing, just instant energy anytime, anywhere. Energy Rocks is candy with a purpose. Within minutes of putting these guys in your mouth, you'll feel a burst of energy to help carry you throughout your day. Energy Rocks have fast-acting caffeine equal to 1 to 2 cups of coffee plus L-theanine for smooth focus and no crash or jitters. Only 4 grams of sugar and vitamin B12 for added energy. They come in pocket-sized sachets, convenient and perfect for on-the-go boost. Not only that, but Energy Rocks provide energy without the bloat of a drink or hassle of swallowing pills, mixing powders, or chewing stale gummies. It's perfect for students, gamers, busy parents, entrepreneurs, gym rats, or anyone who hits a wall midday. Listeners of Two Dads One Tub can go to energyrocks.store/discount/2dads25 off to order Energy Rocks today. Listeners of Two Dads One Tub can use 2dads25 off to get 25% off their order. That's energyrocks.store/discount/2dads25 off with code 2dads25 off. Thanks to Energy Rocks for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to the show.
No, I got distracted where I sent y'all the to scale Pokemon that this guy is selling.
Oh, speaking of which, hi Gas.
What's up?
Hey, Gas.
Gas, do you look at the stream and see your face right now?
I did. I was listening to it on the way home too.
If only it come 10 minutes sooner, because I had to shit. I did more than shittle.
Good deal. So, Gas, how was your business meeting? Did Repent House get picked up?
Yeah. Did your mom finally finalize funding?
That was not that business meeting, but I do have a John Wick lookalike that we might be able to get to do like a cameo.
We should have night shift cameos, and he should just send messages to people in the night shift.
I could totally get him to do that.
Here's the thing: through Fourth Wall, we can actually do that.
And here's the deal: I don't want them to be uplifting. Like, I just want to send messages to people in the community where he threatens them.
Okay, I can see right through this. You just want John Wick to yell at Howdy.
Pretty much.
So what's
Pretty
funny,
much.
so this guy's name is Jim. So we started calling him Jim Wick, and everybody at the table was like, yeah, we need to get him a t-shirt made. Like, it's John Wick's older, out of shape brother. And I didn't tell everybody that I have the ability to make this t-shirt happen, but it might need to happen.
Let's get a picture. See if they can send you a picture of him.
I'll get a picture.
We will try to get one of our artists in the night shift to do like a caricature drawing of it, cartoon it, like make it a cartoon, and then we will put out Jim Wick t-shirts.
I'm down.
He was not angry about the death of the dog. It was the it was the death of his lizard that sent him over the edge.
It's the death of a lizard that really did it for him. Well, now that
it really did it for him.
Now that Gas is here, we can actually start the real show.
Yeah, so thanks for hanging out and letting us banter about a little Switch 2 talk. Loving it. But yeah, it's if you don't have one, I recommend it, but that's just me.
Yeah, if you
could probably wait a little while.
If you can afford it, knowing that Nintendo is most likely not going to drop the price, but you want to wait for a game that really grabs you, I would wait for a game that really grabs you. If Mario Kart or Donkey Kong is going to be a game that grabs you, grab it now.
Donkey Kong's really the one that I'm waiting to do the full litmus test on this.
I think a lot of people really are.
Like the Mario Kart, it's good. I'm fine with it. It's a good launch. It's Mario Kart. But they did enough with the Zelda upgrades. They did enough with that. They gave me Bravely Default Flying Fairy. For some people, you've got 2077 with Cyberpunk. You've got that. And a couple other things that are out there that did launch with it, but they weren't the launch titles.
Like Deltarune.
Yeah, I did. I went on the store and looked, and I was like, okay, I probably won't buy any of these.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I recommend it. If you want to spend the money, you got the money, go get it. You'll enjoy it. Look, your Xbox Series X gets a pretty penny right now. Not as much as it did a week ago, but
yeah, I'm not getting rid of my Xbox.
Mad.
I'm not getting rid of
Look,
my
I was so mad. I should have went last week and traded it in.
Before you lost money to it?
Yeah, I lost $104. And they're still selling my version for $5.59.
And it's going up in price, $100 in a few months. They're raising the price.
Well, no,
of
that was the $100.
Oh,
Or are they doing it again?
yeah, they're doing it in the holiday season. It's going up to $700.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So, well, to be honest, so that's another thing. Anyways, let's do this, and we will talk about my first ever midnight release experience.
Ooh, that's so fair.
I have stories.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Are we turning cams on?
I mean, we can while you guys do this. Give me a second.
Yeah. Let's.
Would
y'all like to see our face, or do you want to keep it as beans?
I have to readjust.
Mine has.
Yours has
my bean is incomplete because I didn't get to do the upload part.
Oh yeah.
I have to move some stuff around real quick. In order to make it so that I can see your lovely, lovely and beautiful faces.
It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get mine turned on then.
It's okay. You guys just keep talking.
So yeah, tell us about your midnight release.
Well, let's do that after. We still got to do the housekeeping.
Oh, did we not do the housekeeping
We
yet?
kept it just for you. Just for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So which number am I this week?
You're host 1.
You are your host 1 as always.
I'm number 1 in their hearts too. So,
what is going on?
I'm kind of tempted just to leave Panic as a PNG tuber for funsies.
No, there we go. We got it. We're up and loaded. All right, so go ahead, Gas. Get us started. It's everybody's favorite part. I hope Howdy is in here because he doesn't have the excuse of prison outreach or church bingo. He doesn't have that excuse tonight, so he can be here to hear this.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Gas hasn't seen it either.
I just got home. I've been at work all day. I came home long enough to change shirts and then get in the car again and go to the restaurant. So, all right, before we start the show, I guess officially, we have some housekeeping to smash through like it owes us rupees. Buckle up or we'll send you a Joy-Con drift lawsuit and a used body pillow from Howdy's experimental phase. Holy crap.
It's like foreplay but with more loading screens and less emotional availability. Think sticky buttons, expired energy drinks, and the kind of shame you only feel after buying Gamer Girl bath water on a dare.
First up, Two Dads, One Tub goes live every Wednesday except when Switch 2's release at 9:30 Eastern time on Twitch and YouTube. It's uncensored, unfiltered, and one Switch 2 hardware failure away from a very public meltdown.
Missed the live stream? No worries. We dropped the audio carnage on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatever cursed app Howdy found on a Russian forum while Googling, can you mod a fleshlight to run Skyrim?
That one got him. That one got him.
And yeah, we've got merch, t-shirts, mugs, hoodies. Some of it's wearable. Some of it might be haunted. Links in the description. Buy one, wear it to your job interview, and explain to HR why your hoodie says save often, send more.
Look, y'all, we just dropped a brand new t-shirt called Respawn Daddy. It's tight in all the right places, emotionally unavailable, and banned in 3 Discord servers. Smells like poor decisions, crushed Doritos, and whatever cologne streamers wear to hide their lack of sleep.
And no, Howdy's not here tonight. He's on medical leave after trying to hump a Switch 2 dev kit while yelling, "I found the Easter egg!" Medics on the scene said it looked like a LAN party in a brothel that ran out of safe words. Oh my gosh.
We're not mad. We're just concerned the Switch now boots up to a moan and a weird French accent. Also, the Roomba still hasn't come out from under the couch.
Anyway, if you like the show or you just hate listening while grinding your daily XP in public restrooms, what? drop us 5 stars, leave a review, and gaslight the algorithm like it's your ex who still thinks Fallout 76 was a good idea.
Listen. It got fixed. It's a good game. It's not a great game. It's a good game now.
That's still debatable, I think.
All right. Let's get started with this chaos before Howdy logs back in using a Switch 2, 3 HDMI cables, and something he insists is technically not illegal in this state.
God.
Listen,
So-
I know what state he lives in, and it's probably illegal.
Yeah. So far, I am 3 for 3 in this new adventure of trying to break gas during the housekeeping read. And guess when we go back to the Save Often Sin More, that's a playback to Repent House.
Yes, it is.
That's probably going to be a cover title for the t-shirt. And then the grinding your daily XP in the public restroom. If you haven't figured out what that is,
Yes.
that's an homage to Pee Wee Herman and his triple feature.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
I picked up on that one.
I gotcha. The shock value just got me on that one. I didn't know where to go with that.
Now I have a proposal for you both.
Oh, I'm crying. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
Do we tell
do we
everyone
got?
what next week's episode is? And then related to next week's episode, I have a proposal for housekeeping.
Next week's episode is the PvE Two Dads One Tub crossover.
Yes, it is.
So you're gonna get Elijah in all his glory, and he's not allowed to read it beforehand either. Because I think here's what we're gonna do.
Are you thinking that we should make Elijah and Gas read it next week? Because I'm on the
Next
same
week,
page.
Elijah and Gas are gonna read the housekeeping for Two Dads One Tub.
I agreed. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly.
Neither one get to read it beforehand. They get to see it live in front of everybody. And we're going to see how well that goes.
I'm totally down, but I have one request because I think it makes it even funnier. I think that Elijah gets the best howdy joke because he's not the one that's usually on here to say it. So just
Yes.
having someone new say it, I think is the way to go on this.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm all for it.
So I there's a question in chat that I'm going to answer real quick from Gopher asking when do we get the Repent House shirt / hoodie. So right now I'm working with one of our artists for a new logo for the podcast. A more merch friendly logo for the podcast. Depending on how that goes, we might continue to work with this artist and get some of these shirts that we want designed and have them do the design logos for those as well. We are working on the Emotionally Moist hoodie. That one is coming soon for real.
It'll be done by the weekend, end of the weekend.
I honestly feel like Respawn Daddy needs to be a real shirt.
Do you want me to work on that too?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we make it? Can we make it in necro colors?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Yes.
I'll work on that.
So, and then
The Nurse Nancy and the
shirt-
Tiger Shark has
that's
to
the one I
happen.
want to commission.
That's
That's the
the
one that's the art commission one. That's the one we're going to work on for the art commission. And then same thing with the Repent House because I've got ideas. Do you remember so you know the Sailor Jerry tattoos?
Yes.
Like the Sailor Jerry art style tattoos
Yes. Yeah.
of the pinup girls?
Yeah.
I want a Sailor Jerry nun.
None for Repent House.
Nun. Yes, a Sailor Jerry nun for Repent House.
Can I throw another suggestion out there? We don't make that a shirt.
Yes.
We do a sticker collection where we have Nurse Nancy, we have the nun, we have the
Yes.
Roomba.
I'm all for that. First off, but I want the Nurse Nancy and the Tiger Shark T-shirt.
No, I'm saying we do
That's
both.
happening.
I say we do both. I'm saying
That's happening.
we do the pinup like tattoo art style of Nurse Nancy, of the nun, of the Roomba,
Oh.
and then we also
Yeah.
do our original shirt plan.
I'm
Like,
down.
I feel like those stickers, I mean, we'll get pictures of people's setups, and you'll see the Sailor Jerry's nun on the side of their, and
Hey,
people
I
are going to
have-
be like, what is that? That's a repent house, man.
I have new shelves now that I can put those on.
Yes.
Daddy, what's that?
Um,
That might be
That's
true.
gonna be-
I might have to be careful about that one.
So you
Um,
just get like an aura frame or like the digital picture frame that Panic has, but don't have it auto shift. Have it a specific setting for when you're streaming to show Repent House, and then a specific setting turned on for when the kids are roaming around.
so
yeah,
I'm looking at our run of show that we have every week. And so Notable came in here earlier. I did notice it. And he's like, where's gas? And so Preston answered, he's on his way. And then he's like, well, Gas told me Panic wasn't going to be here. Well, originally I wasn't going to be here because, to be honest, I have Wednesdays set aside for the podcast. Well, we didn't do it. I went to the Switch release last night and got my Switch. But
Preston.
I did such a great job cleaning the house this week that when I asked my wife, hey, could I possibly do Thursday and Friday this week? She's like, yeah, the house is clean. I'm happy. You're more than welcome to go upstairs and do that. No big deal, because you put the effort forth. Now, granted, we clean our house, but our bedroom, so when you have 3 kids, certain aspects of your house tend to get left behind.
Yeah.
Which is usually your private domain of your bedroom, because you get done cleaning everything else and you walk into your bedroom, you're like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. So, and it wasn't like nasty. It was just like clothes that have been washed that are folded and on our couch that we hadn't put up yet. So we were literally walking over to the couch and picking our outfit out instead of going to the closet or to our dressers. It's things like that. And then my wife, we have a 2-person desk downstairs in the bedroom. A big 90s, it was 95 inches in size. And it's a 2-person work desk. And now that my gaming stuff is up here, and my wife only works from home 2 days a week. We don't really need the 2-person desk. So I kind of took it in half. I kept the other half because I've got ideas for once I actually get my room built up here. I'm actually going to I'm going to build my own gaming desk in that room by just design my own desk. And so I got that set up, and then I went and bought her a 2-monitor setup. And Howdy shows up after the housekeeping. But
He just saw that I wasn't here and left, and it's been checking periodically, and this is just the first time he's seen me.
yeah, Howdy. Look, he didn't have prison outreach tonight, and he missed you. So
I just asked him how.
But anyways, I got to come up here and do this tonight with y'all. So I'm just seeing the topics, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, we're probably not going to talk about any of them.
Well, those topics I put up there are less topics and more. We should probably do a quick shout out for those.
Yeah.
Sure. We can do that. But first, we're going to talk about my first ever experience last night at a GameStop launch event, because it was something. It was something.
Oh God.
So I pulled up. I got there about 9:45. They started at like 3:00. I didn't know that, or else I'd have went and paid for it at 3:00 and then waited till midnight to go over there. But they didn't really put that out very well here where I live.
They didn't do that here either.
And so I was like, well, I'm gonna get over there around 10:00, and I know that's 2 hours before the midnight launch and all that party. But they said they were gonna have pizza and drinks and things like that. And I'm sitting here thinking, cool, they might actually have, like canned sodas. And I figure Domino's or Pizza Hut. No, they had Little Caesars, which I'm not mad at. I like Little Caesars. And I get it. You're doing an event for a launch night and you're a GameStop and you don't have a whole lot of money to begin with as a company. You're not going to go out over the top. Where my problem was is they bought 2 liters.
God. Oh,
They
God.
didn't have cups.
They went next door to the Dollar Tree and bought 2 liters.
The Shasta Cola.
Yes. And gas, you're not wrong. When I got there, they did not have plates, they did not have paper towels, and they did not have cups. So there's just 2 liters sitting on the counter. And I'm pretty sure they got the 2 liters from Little Caesars when they picked it up, because it was legit Mountain Dew and legit Pepsi. So they got them from there. But they didn't have any cups. So I walk in and I'm like, I'm going to get some Mountain Dew. And he goes, yeah, go ahead. And I said, well, y'all don't have cups. And so he looks at Garrett, who is the employee.
He just yells, "Waterfall!"
I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. So anyways, Garrett's like, oh, I guess we do need those. And the manager that was there is the manager from our mall store, but he runs both of them. And he looks at Garrett and he goes, yeah, if people want to drink, you've got to have cups. Like, do you expect them to just drink out of the 2 liters and share? And Garrett just looks at him. He's like, okay, I'll go to Dollar Tree.
Was Dollar Tree still open?
Yeah, Dollar Tree was open till 11:00 last night.
Holy crap!
Damn.
Dollar Tree knew what was up. There was a release going on right next door at the GameStop.
They were going to
you know
sell
what?
some candy bars.
You know what else was hopping last night? The homeless camp right next to the GameStop
Damn.
over there.
Damn.
I'm going to tell you right now, they were having a good old time.
As they should.
So anyways, I was in a VC with Gas and Colt and Red when I first got there. I walked inside and then I come back out and was talking to them for a little while. And then Gas and I left and went into another VC because Red and Colt are playing a game and we tend to not try to hang out in somebody's game chat while they're playing. But so we're sitting there, we talked, what was it, about 45 minutes we talked?
Something like
Roughly. And so it's about 45 minutes. It's like, you know what? There's 2 guys in there. They look sad. Nobody's talking to each other. They're shoveling pizza into their mouth and just standing there staring off into the distance. Like they zoned out, not talking. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in here and talk to these people. Not going to lie, my first thought was, I'm going to go in here and recruit for the night shift. Like, I'm going to get some people for the night shift. So I go in, I'm talking to this guy, and I can't even, we were talking, this guy asked me if I watch sports. And I was like, well, yeah. I said, college World Series is going on right now. I'm a big college football fan. I'll pretty much watch any sport that's on TV if it's on. And so we were talking about that. Well, this one guy looks at us and he goes, I like the sports ball too.
Oh God.
Have y'all watched any of the Harry Potter
Quidditch?
Quidditch.
He goes, have y'all watched any of that Quidditch on the YouTubes? My brain was like, is this guy legit? Or is he just being an asshole?
Maybe both.
He smelled like an asshole.
Oh.
That was another experience I haven't experienced in a long time. It was just smells. So anyways, I chatted with these two for a little bit, and they're odd cookies. Neither one deal with Twitch. They are strictly Magic the Gathering, D&D, and the Switch. Nintendo products. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, cool. That's cool. Like they're like, well, why are you buying the Switch? You don't like, I was like, man, I'm 40 years old. Like Nintendo's like was my gateway drug. That's why I'm here for it.
You don't fit this demographic.
Yeah.
You shower.
Well, so then Kinezito, which is also in the who is our newest member of the GameStop community in our Discord. He will tell you he's a seasonal employee, so he has no pool. But he did give me some tidbits on like some Pokemon card drops that are coming that nobody knows about. I can't put those out there. It's top secret. I'm pretty pumped about it. But like it's weird. Yeah, and I didn't fit in with the group that was in there really at all. Based on appearance. Like they looked at me and they're like, "Why are you here? Like you're not." Because I was in golf shorts, a polo. I had my night shift ball cap on. I had a wedding ring. Because that's a foreign object to a lot of these people.
You should have just wore your Stormtrooper polo.
I thought about wearing my Randy Savage polo, but then I thought that might be lost on them.
I mean, they only play D&D and Magic the Gathering. Oh, I mean, there's a good crossover for D&D and wrestling. There's a good crossover.
But so that was the first couple of guys. So like most everybody started rolling in about 11 o'clock last night, and we got some different people in there. I know I made the mistake of chatting with a guy who's the president of a Mazda Miata car club.
Oh,
This guy.
Mazda Miatas. That's all I have to say.
It's the real life Lightning McQueen's.
But here's the deal. He's a licensed pilot, but he works for T-Mobile in the IT department.
That's because he has to fly somewhere to get service with that crap.
Ayo.
Well, come to find out, that's what this guy does. Look, I learned his whole life story last night. He flies around for T-Mobile for service calls for businesses like they're
the real MMA, Miata Man of America.
Yeah. So look, hey Lens, I see that. I have nothing against Mazda Miatas. I actually think they're pretty cool little cars. But his was a special breed of Miata. Like I probably wouldn't go out in public with it. But needless to say, so he flies around and does all that stuff. So then this guy notices my tattoo, which is my Sea Beast tattoo. The first question, he goes, "Oh, so you're a Disney fan?" Well, yeah, I mean, I am. I do have Disney movies that I enjoy. I'm a girl dad, so that's kind of part of the resume. He goes, "No, your tattoo." And I said, "Oh, okay. I see what you're like. I understand what you're getting at because I mean it is. So the CBs are the only branch of service where Walt Disney actually drew our logo, like our mascot emblem, and that's the tattoo I have on my arm is the Disney bee. And it does. Like you look at it and you're like, that's Disney.
Yeah, Walt Disney definitely made it.
Yeah, and I was like, no, man, that was the combat unit that I was in when I was in service, and he goes, "Oh, so you were in the military?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I was in the Navy," and he goes, "Oh, so you went on ships?" It's like, no, I didn't go on ships. I don't do that kind of stuff. I have a wife. I'm not into, you know, I'm not into deployments and being alone all the time on a boat.
You're not alone.
But
You got a bunch of other guys cramped up in there with you.
and it smells like that GameStop did last night. Um,
And Howdy's Roomba.
and Howdy's room,
The
but
first
no,
or
but
the
seriously, so it was just it was overall a weird experience. But then I found out the guy that has the Mazda Miata, he was in the army, which made a lot of sense.
I knew you were going to go there with that. That was the most predictable thing that you've said so far.
The most obvious tee up and swing.
So, well, it made a lot of sense, but so then we talked about our time in service. He was 29 years old, and he was talking about how hard boot camp was. I was like, "Man, you got cell phone time and stress cards." And he goes, "Well, you didn't have stress cards?" I was like, "No, man, we didn't get to tell them that they hurt us too much and take it easy on us." So we talked about that. Then he talked about how he was an equipment operator for the Army, truck driver for the Army. So he drove cargo and stuff between Fort Hood and Fort Lost in the Woods, Fort Leonard Wood up in Missouri. So he did back and forth treks there. But needless to say, I couldn't get rid of this guy. He hung out with me the whole time. And then he wanted, like, we exchanged information. Well, let me rephrase that. I gave him my business card for work, so he has my work number because I didn't want to give him my personal number.
That's fair.
So now if I ever get fired from Ferguson, he'll never have my phone number. But so chatted with him for a while. Met a guy that did the pre-order but didn't pay for it and showed up right at midnight. And he's like, "I think they'll still let me get it." And I'm like, "I guess I don't know. I don't know how that works."
In 2 hours, yeah.
So, but no, and it was just it was my first experience at a midnight launch event. And it is probably my last experience at a midnight launch event that I will have at GameStop. And I hope I don't see some of those people ever again in my life.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did meet a few nice people. Like I met some really nice people. I got a couple people to join the community server. With Ken and his brother joined yesterday afternoon, and then that's really it. It wasn't all people made it out to be. Like Preston and Elijah made it seem like it was so much fun with all their pictures they were taking and the foot fetish talk that they were having while they were there.
There were really big labels. Really big labels. It's just a threat. Kylie would never kiss me if I actually sucked his toes. And if you guys snitch, I'll be so mad.
It's okay.
I mean, do you want me to go over Elijah and I's experience? Because this isn't the most fun midnight launch I've had because it was kind of like the Switch 2 launch is the weirdest organized one I think I've ever experienced.
It wasn't like I was expecting. Like they had a sign up that said Nintendo trivia, and I was like, "Sweet, I'm gonna go suck it up on some Nintendo trivia, win some prizes, maybe." I stared at a Clone Trooper helmet for like an hour, deciding whether or not Rosemary would kill me if I came home with it. Because
You
that was
obviously decided yes.
yeah, I did not get it. Well, I also decided $100 seemed like a lot, but I am driving to Cleveland this weekend to pick up a
Yes, you are.
life size
Yes,
cutout of Chewbacca.
So
So
stupid.
I spent $30 on that, but it's worth it. So I mean, I
Dude,
don't know. It was cool. It was cool. It's
dude,
fine.
like Sal and chat, like totally different than the old Halo wrestling and Call of Duty, like midnight release stuff. Dude, Halo 3 midnight release, like I was still early middle school for that. Holy shit, was that a fun time? Like people
I
bring,
remember doing the. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, people like bringing their entire setups with portable batteries so they can play Halo 2 to prepare for Halo 3 in line with their CRTs. Like insane stuff.
That's pretty sweet. And
I remember doing midnight releases for college football.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like that might have been my demographic, Gas.
which was basically like the COD midnight releases.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically the same people that would go to those. Were doing the college football ones, and then about the time that midnight releases kind of stopped is when college football kind of stopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace
our
to the classics.
yeah, our Switch 2 story, and Elijah will have to tell his perspective from it, but last week, because the GameStop we went to is right across the street from the school he goes to for community college. So he literally walked across the street. The community college he goes to is not the main site of the community college, but it's like a little satellite campus of the community college inside of a shopping center. So it's literally right across the street is this GameStop. He literally goes up to the guy working it and he goes, "Hey man, what's the likelihood of Switch 2 stuff on next week?" He goes, "Oh yeah, dude, people are coming to pick up their pre-orders at noon. Like, come and get it." And he's like, "Sweet." And I go, "Dude, if we can get it that early in the day, we're just play Switch 2 all day." We show up, there's like 5 people in line for noon opening to go pick up their Switches, and the guy goes, "Oh shit, hold on, let me call my manager. Yeah, no, we're not supposed to do that today. Pre-orders and picking up is like picking up your receipt is at 3 and paying for the final ones at 3." And we're like, "God damn it. Okay, fine." We decided Elijah went to go get a haircut, and I'm like, "Well, let's figure out lunch and let's go figure out lunch and dinner plans." We went back to my house. Elijah went to go get his haircut. I started marinating chicken wings. Then we went around 2:15ish. We went back. There was a long line. We're like, "Oh crap, we might not be able to get this because Elijah didn't pre-order, and he's trying to put in his pre-order that moment." There was 27 Mario Kart bundles and 10 non-Mario Kart bundles. We were 27th in line. So Elijah had to buy a physical version of Mario Kart with his. Which ended up working better for us because we got to play as soon as we got home, which is fantastic. So we got to play like 2.5 hours of Mario Kart, which is great. However, in the times between then, we met some weird people. But then there was one guy who we got along with really, really well. He's a dad. And he was trading in literally every console he hadn't played in the last 10 years. He had 2 giant duffel bags worth of stuff. He goes, "Yeah, I got my Wii U. I got my Xbox One X. I got like 5 3DSs in here. I'm set, dude."
So he got a pretty penny for them 3DSs.
Dude,
though.
he got a pretty penny for the 3DSs. And one of the people was also doing the same thing in front of us. And as we're waiting for the pre-orders, the guy's like typing on his computer. The final total goes, "And you owe Scratch that. We owe you $15.
So it's funny you say that. The guy in front of me, when we were actually getting to pick up our Switches last night, it was a dad and a son, and his son was like 8 years old. If this would have been like school time frame, I'd have been questioning his parenting skills.
Yeah.
But it's summertime, so I was like, sweet, that's pretty cool. Because I tried to get one of my girls to go with me, and then I was like, I'm probably smart that I didn't.
Yeah.
But
The rest, the guys there would have been hyperventilating because there were pheromones in the air.
well,
Gross.
no, there was quite a few girls there. But anyways, so he had already paid for everything, so he was just there to pick it up. The guy proceeds to use GameStop rewards coupons afterwards. And this is Garrett we're talking about. Garrett just used them. Didn't even ask, just used them. That he had his $5 certificate and another certificate that he had. And the guy's like, okay, thanks for my Switch 2. Can I get the receipt? And he goes, well, hold on. Here's $10.72. And the guy looks at him and goes, why are you giving me money? And Garrett goes, well, I used your coupons. The guy goes, what if I was saving that for something else?
What?
He's like, can you put them back on there? And he goes, no, sorry. Here's your $10. So this guy proceeds to walk out with $10. Like they paid him $10.
$10.
pick
Stop
up his
using
Switch.
coupons.
Yeah. But anyways, what's our Urban Dictionary word of the day this
Oh
week?
shit! I didn't look it up. Give me a second.
Okay, then never.
No.
Never
It'll take me
mind.
20 seconds. It'll take me 20 seconds.
Oh, look, I'm going to have a big pee-pee this week because somebody didn't fix the notes, and I'm going to promote Preston versus Elijah's 24-hour stream they had last
Oh
Friday.
shit! I forgot to write that.
If you didn't make it last Friday, they're doing it again tomorrow.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Based on these notes.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No. June 21st, subathon. Give us money. If we make it to 48 hours, Elijah will tattoo up my PNG tuber to my ass. Not even lying.
Not only that, he's going to tattoo mine and Gas's PNG tubers to Preston's ass as well.
No, that's so every 6 hour mark we add a new PNG tuber after the 48 hour mark.
Oh,
So if you want it, you got to work for it.
Oh, we got to get them to 60 hours.
Yeah. You guys got to get us. So once we hit 48 hours, the first tattoo is unlocked. Once we get to 52 hours, then Elijah gets added on. Once we get to 58 hours, then it's Gas, and then once we get to the final one, it's Panic.
What's the criteria? Like, how do we add the hours? Like, how many subs?
So it's
adds hours.
So every sub is 10 minutes. That's
a ripoff.
Every sub is 10. This is just based off of the average subathon we looked at online, and then we multiplied it by 2. So otherwise, it'd been every gift sub is 5 minutes. We're giving you guys double the amount for fun, and then every 100 bits is 1 minute, or every 100 bits is 2 minutes.
I think that we should strike a compromise here.
Okay.
Time out. So if I give you 460 subs,
yes,
you'll stream for 60 hours.
Yes, we will. Straight.
Gas. Should I sell some crypto?
No, we're gonna do a compromise here.
Okay.
So most people consider Gas and Panic as like a package deal.
So you're saying the after Elijah, you guys together, the final one is that we put Kai on my ass.
Yes.
I'll accept that. So at the 52 hour mark?
Okay, 52-hour mark. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Elijah and I will buy a tattoo gun. It won't happen live on stream. We will do a special event stream where Elijah tattoos my ass.
Live on
20
TikTok.
No, we'll get.
We need 280 subs.
Yep.
280 subs, and they will do it live on Twitch.
We'll do it live on Twitch. Elijah does a shitty drawing of our PNG tubers because he has no artistic ability in his life of the PNG tubers on my ass. And Kylie is both, why are you doing this? And she's like, it's your body, I don't care.
That is life goals right there, to have a cartoon version of myself on some dude's ass.
It'll be the first time Elijah and I have physically been on stream. Is that stream?
Also,
at what point can we have a pregame shaving live on stream?
I think that would get
Live.
us banned because we have to also look, can we live stream it or does this have to be a YouTube video?
if you angle it just right and it's just the cheek, no crack, no sack, like you
Okay,
get
hold on.
just
We
right.
have to add the sack. Of course there's going to be no sack.
Yeah, no crack, no sack, you're good.
Also, I'm a pretty big guy. He's got a pretty big canvas to work with.
Fair enough.
So
You got you got PVE on one side, and then two dads, one tub on the other side.
even better.
Each cheek. Can I
Yes.
put the verses over the crack?
Yes.
And then you have a night shift logo right above the crack with an arrow pointing down.
If we get how about this? If we get to 66 hours, I will also do the NS logo on my ass.
No. We get to 66 hours, you get an NS tramp stamp.
I'll do it. You bet. You don't think I won't do it? You don't think I won't do it for the content?
A night shift tramp stamp.
I will absolutely do it if that means we can make it to 66 hours.
Okay.
Lip.
No, Sal, not temporary. We're not pansying out of this one. We are buying a tattoo gun. It's only $50 on Amazon.
That's God. Preston's gonna end up with hepatitis R.
And we're gonna buy it, and then Elijah's gonna. We had a friend who had one, and like she would tattoo her husband with tiny little tattoos. It'll be fine. He didn't get an infection. It comes with all of the care kit stuff with it too. Kylie's like, when are you gonna get? I don't even have any tattoos right now, so these will be my first tattoos.
I've only got one, so luckily enough, I had good enough friends in the military that talked me out of my other tattoo idea. Which now I think about it, I really wished I'd have got. But it was stick figures on the insides of my arms, like on my biceps.
Yeah.
One was going to be a guy holding a beer wearing a ball cap, and underneath was going to say "drinking buddy," and then on the other arm was going to be a stick figure superhero, and said "wingman" underneath it.
Did you just clip?
So that way, if I was guessed it.
I'm gonna put that on.
way,
I'll put that on socials just to self promo. I'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll be the clip for this week.
But my whole idea of that tattoo was because I used to go to the bar by myself when I was in the military. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I just went to go drink. And I had a lot of times women or just people there would be like, it's kind of sad that you come by you come alone, or does that not bother you? And I always wanted to have tattoos where I could lift my arms. Like, no, I got my drinking buddy and my wingman with me at all times.
That's awesome.
But luckily I had a good enough buddy that talked me out of doing that, because now at 40 years old, like I would never use it, especially being married with kids. But then the nostalgic part of me is like, man, I wished I'd have done it, because that was some of my happier times in life. But
all I'm saying is I'll do it for the content. It's just an ass. It's an ass and a tramp stamp. I think
Roy Orbison.
The only person who really would have to deal with it is Kai.
Oh, that's going to be so nice.
I just like the idea of like, oh, right cheek
PvE.
during spicy times of panic and gas.
Oh,
So yeah.
Just hear Preston. What are you going to do with that cucumber? Oh, I'm just feeding panic and gas.
Every time I'm mad
speaking of
every time I'm mad at you, I
speaking of
slap
funny
you.
clips, yeah. Speaking of funny clips, we are launching the NS Funniest Clips contest within the community where you can all submit clips, like funny clips from your streams, funny TikToks that you've made, things like that, things that we can utilize to showcase. The only catch is you have to submit a clip and you have to sign the waiver within the Discord to allow us to use your content. And no, that's not for like monetary gain or anything like that. It's just protects us from if you get mad at us and decide you don't like us anymore and try to get us in trouble. Top cover our own ass. So, honestly, I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And if you want a good opportunity at some clips, you should come check out our grounded stream tomorrow.
Oh God.
Because Elijah and spiders,
Do not mix.
there's a good recipe for funny clips.
Yeah,
I still need to go to
It's
his
gonna be-
POV from the 24-hour stream to where, hey Elijah, come over here. There's something really cool underneath this tree.
Listen, hey, I got an idea.
No,
We need to get him to log off standing in front of the little oak tree, and
Yes.
then we build something around him when he's logged off.
So
We're the only thing that he has to go through.
I can make that happen tomorrow. I can make that happen tomorrow. Because we can, all three of us can do it off stream.
Exactly.
yes.
All three of us can do it off stream.
And what's
We'll
nice
just-
is
we'll-
eventually you get to where you can make signs. We'll just make a sign that's right in front of him that's just a picture of a spider.
Listen. I will build a maze around him, and the only way out is to
It's through
go through that area.
going through the oak tree. That's so I almost said cynical. Diabolical. It's not cynical at all. Diabolical.
Look, speaking of first time chatter, y'all give it up to my GameStop homie, Ken Azito.
What's up, Ken?
Hung out with him last
What's
night.
up, Kenazito?
Cool dude. Also a former service member, a veteran, Army medic. Pretty cool dude. But anyways, that's all we're going to talk to chat for right now. But yeah, I'm still excited about these ass tattoos, to be honest. So
This will be the only time that I ever dance again in my life.
that's true. That's true.
So I can flex my butt pretty well. I could literally make him dance anytime I want.
That would be that's a TikTok video right there.
No, that'll get me banned on TikTok. That's what that'll
Nate,
do.
Listen,
No,
no,
get you-
here-
Get
here
you
it is.
shorts. Get you shorts that just show it. Do
Okay,
it low enough
listen.
on
Okay.
the cheek.
I'm going to.
If you
Let me hold on, Gas. Let me be vulnerable real quick. I do have shorts that'll show it off. When we went to Comic-Con last year, there was a vendor that was selling booty shorts for guys and girls that had video game characters on it. And mine has the Smash Bros logo and says "Smash Me." And Kylie got a matching one with Jigglypuff in a thong that says Jiggly Butt.
listen, here's your goal.
Okay.
If my tattoo ends up on there and you figure out how to make that tattoo do the truffle shuffle, I will do a stitch on TikTok of me doing the truffle shuffle, and we'll do a comparison.
And then I'll just do a stitch of me sitting there.
Write that down. Write that down.
Oh,
Anywho,
man.
Preston versus Elijah. Preston's birthday subathon, June 21st, starting at 1 p.m. The exact time I was born. I was born exactly at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So we're starting exactly when I turned 28, and we're starting it off as a 24-hour stream. And then every hour mark past that. So you need to get to 48 hours for the first tattoo. Then 54 for the second tattoo. And then past that 60 hours for the last two tattoos. And if we want to go crazier, 66 for Kylie's, plus an NS tramp stamp.
Y'all, look, all we need is 420 subs. I know that sounds like a lot, but hey, it's 420. Most of our community likes to smoke pot. They partake. So why don't we just advertise it that way? Blaze it up, drop a sub, let's hit 420.
Blaze it with Preston for his birthday.
Yeah, blaze it with Preston for his birthday. Yeah, so let's just make it a green friendly stream.
Oh man.
And I may or may not sell some crypto.
To make it happen, so I have to get an NS tramp stamp?
Yep.
I won't be mad. That's a Nintendo Switch 2 right there.
It'll be worth it though. I gotta save some of that for the wedding. That one day will happen where we have to come to Seattle.
That's so fair.
But anyway, so Gas missed the Switch talk. We did talk about the Switch, Gas. Well, you didn't miss it. You listened.
Listen, and honestly, I mean that's probably I wouldn't have been able to contribute a whole lot, so that's probably a good thing.
Why not? Why couldn't you contribute? Oh, because you didn't get one.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither did I. I just happen to have a friend who I happen to be best friends with who happened to get one, who is currently streaming right now on twitch.tv/Preston versus Elijah.
And I will be hitting him up here in a few minutes. I think I'm going to try to jump on and do some Mario Kart.
I already told him that you were going to hit him up. He's already ready for you.
Hell yeah.
He's ready for you, Daddy.
Well, it excites me in more ways than one. But anyways, so we've got goals for this week. We've got the Respawn Daddy t-shirt we're going to try to get out this week.
Yep.
The Emotionally Moist hoodie that we're going to try to get out this week. I'm working with one of our artists on our logo. Then we're going to work on the Nurse Nancy and the Tiger Shark. Nurse Nancy riding a tiger shark. And then
the title on it is Turning Up the Heat.
Yeah, the title is Turn Up the Heat.
Hear me out. Pitch. Thermometer up the tiger shark's butt.
No. Pee Wee Herman action figure.
Oh, so true. So true. Never mind. Continue.
A little Paul Rubens tribute hidden like a
full
like
circle.
kind of like an Easter egg, but more of a Easter butt plug.
That's the one that Howdy was looking for in that dev kit.
That's the Easter egg.
That was.
That's the Easter egg.
So, okay. Yeah, so that's it. That's the design. I'll work on that here soon. Something about the longest PvE pod ever. Nobody cares except for me because I'm the only one that actually listens to it.
We had
there
was an episode where we eclipsed your guys' listeners for once.
All right, was that the Pokemon episode?
No, 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Grums. That week where the podcast only had like 10 downloads on night.
That's because it was our first time by ourselves.
Yeah.
Listen, I just had a thought.
Yeah.
Are we gonna find out someday in the near future that Howdy is actually Grums, and that's why he wears a mask?
Wait. Howdy's leading the charge on hashtag make women hot in games again.
Oh,
Uh,
good Lord.
wait,
Howdy's never gonna come on this podcast.
how if no,
And just for y'all's viewing pleasure, in 1 month from next Wednesday, our special guest, I am Captain Howdy. Just kidding.
okay, can I pitch a stream game for you guys? And this might be something that actually can run on my Mac.
Okay.
$5 on Steam.
What do we got?
It is a game in which you and your friends play the prosecution, the defense, the judge, and the court reporters as sock puppets, and your whole goal is to convince the judge whether the client is guilty or not with the basis of nothing. And we do NS Court, Panic versus Howdy.
I feel like that's a community. That's a community night.
Yeah, that's a community.
That is, yes.
That's a community night right there.
Let's do it.
My honor.
I get
your honor.
I get Preston. I get Preston as my lawyer there.
I'll be the judge.
Me and Panic versus Elijah and Howdy.
Howdy's fucked.
Your honor, my client is an honorable man. Objection, your honor. Howdy's a bitch. Sustained.
Oh
Man.
So, in other news, if y'all didn't notice, we put out a recruiting video last week for the community. We wanted to kind of recharge that growth and get that little kickstart going again. And
It kind of worked.
it did kind of work. And I'm happy to say that we started out that recruiting process at 709 members of the Discord, and we have officially eclipsed 800. So we ended up with 91, 92 members based off of just that recruiting video. Couldn't have done it without some members of the Night Shift community coming together and helping make that video, and then Preston putting it together in a awesome edit. So it's something to be super excited about. I do have ideas. If we hit that 1,000 member mark, I've got some plans of a celebration. We'll figure that out. No, there will not be any lady things being done by myself this go round. I'm not shooting myself in the foot this time.
Get the tramp stamp with me. Panic also gets the tramp.
I am not getting a tramp stamp. So I might get a Prince Albert.
Fair.
Just kidding. That's not happening.
Why not?
That'll hurt. No, thank you. But so yeah, I mean, we're pretty excited about that. We've got some other videos coming and some more social content coming. Community game nights are coming.
First one's getting announced tomorrow.
It's a good time to join the Night Shift and get people in here. There'll be some changes that y'all will notice. For the good, it's not anything crazy. Just some things that we feel the need to shake up a little bit and make a little better. There will be a rebranding of our merch. So you will see new merch coming online of the Night Shift merch, just the Night Shift merch. This is not added on to the chaotic the chaotic merch that we decided to come up with every week in this podcast.
That may or may not make appearances in the near future.
That will be making appearance. Like, we're going to do it.
Emotionally
I think
Moist-
that'll be our best selling.
Emotionally
stuff.
Moist will be up on Sunday.
So that's a good one. Emotionally Moist is coming Sunday. I'm excited about it. What did I say I wanted that to?
So
Did I?
Emotionally Moist
Was
is
that in the?
it's Emotionally Moist. We just talked about it in the pod. I'll remind you what it is because I have a sketch of it. I'm not going to show you it till the final. It's just the words emotionally moist, but there's drips and it's melting off of the words. So it's just little like
Yeah.
melty versions of the word emotionally moist.
I thought I gave like I wanted other words.
2 dads, 1 tub makes me emotional.
No, yeah, that's going to be the back of the shirt.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
I wanted to say
that's going to be the back of the shirt. Yeah. Emotionally moist in the front, 2 dads, 1 tub makes me emotionally moist in the back.
perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Respawn Daddy will be next week just because of my bandwidth.
Respawn Daddy is just such a good one. But I feel like we've got to come up with one for the ladies as well. Sorry, for the women of the night shift. Or the moms. I don't know how to word that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you're
about to dig yourself in a deep hole, my friend.
Well, I wanted to go along the lines of like the Repent House wording subject line type deal, but then I'm like, it's not really where we want to be with that.
Are you saying you don't want to associate the women of the night shift with Repent House? Crazy.
No, I don't think we should associate them with Repent House.
Huh.
Although, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Ooh, and we got to do the stick. Like we got to do the Sailor Jerry artwork. I'm most excited about that. The Sailor Jerry stickers.
I think we could also probably do temporary tattoos of those.
Hey, what if we did Sailor Jerry stickers of me and you as well?
Make it a 5-pack. We do the Roomba.
Yeah.
We do Nurse Nancy. We do the Nun. We do Panic and Gas.
Daddy Frass and Prince and Uncle Panic.
Daddy Frass and Uncle Panic. That's a weird. That is a weird choice there. Uncle Panic.
I think you. What, you don't want to be the weird uncle?
I guess
you got tiny
that's
hands.
What I am.
You're standing there like this with your tiny hands. Man. Well,
we are about to hit the 2-hour mark.
Yes, we are. It has been an odd episode. It's been.
I'll take the blame.
Fun. It's been a fun.
I'll take the blame.
It's been a fun.
I'll take the blame on this one. It was actually coherent and actual good discussion until I got on here.
No, I think we thrive on good. Because last week was good discussion, then into random nonsense the last half also. So I think that's just...
We start off with good intentions.
That's also the tagline for Repent House.
What was it I said in there?
Save more, or let's see.
Save often, sin more.
Yes.
To me, that's the perfect. Although
that could be on the Respawn Daddy as well.
Save more, sin often. Yes. Look, we also need a shirt.
Okay.
We got to do a Captain Howdy image. We got to ask his permission for this one. We get an image of Captain Howdy with a thought bubble that says, "Can you mod a fleshlight to run Skyrim?"
We don't need a permission. We just need a ski mask.
That is true. We just need a sprite and a ski mask.
He's got a fleshlight in one hand and a bottle of Fireball in the other.
Yes.
Skyrim now on flashlights.
That's the next Bethesda release.
They did put it on Alexa. So I mean, look,
and they can call it
there's Elder Scrolls 6.
They can call that one Elder Scrolls 69.
Elder Scrolls Sex.
Yes. Okay. All right. So the last little bit of housekeeping here as we close out the night. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like always, we record on Wednesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to next week. Next week we have special guest Elijah from Preston versus Elijah, the PvE podcast, and the actual Twitch channel where they do stuff. And I would say special guest Preston, but he's here every week. No, leave it at stuff. Don't give them an explanation. They just do stuff.
I was
just gonna say they're gonna watch the Summer Games Fest tomorrow.
Oh, can I talk about that real quick?
No.
Oh, fuck you.
Damn it. Damn it, Gas. That's what I was trying to avoid was...
No, this is quick. Elijah and I are official Summer Games Fest co-streamers for the weekend, meaning we are officially a part of the official streams you can watch to get reactions for Summer Games Fest. I think we're the only ones in the night shift, so we might also be the night shift representation for that. If we
Panic, you want to be unofficial representation?
You guys
can night shift?
You guys can join us for that tomorrow. You just will be working.
We could.
No, wait, no, you might not be working because it starts at 5 your time. And I think that's just the pre-show. Tomorrow, I know for sure Josh and I, if you listen to our Fantasy Critic episodes, we're watching. And then Sunday, we'll watch the Xbox Direct as part of that whole spiel. But if you watch for at least 30 minutes, you'll get access to the Warframe devs' new MMO beta. That is the fun thing about that. So if you watch for 30 minutes, you get access codes to that when that drops. So come hang out.
So my question is, why didn't you pitch Gas and I for the hosts of this Summer Games Fest live watch?
Because I literally signed up for it. So when I signed up to do it, that was before I got as involved in the night shift as I was. Literally months ago, I signed up for this, and they only confirmed us yesterday.
But how funny would it be? A guy that really doesn't have a clue what he's talking about video game wise
reacted to Summer Games Fest.
Reacting to Summer Games.
What the hell is this game? That looks cool. Dude, how have you never heard of Street Fighter?
Yes. That's not shift goals. We need to go to video game awards and interview people.
Dude,
let me interview.
I would kill to produce that content. It would. Oh my god! Yes, I would kill. I would literally bring my camera setup and everything, and I would literally be your cameraman. Panic goes to the Game Awards.
Spoiler alert! We're not talking about games.
So who do you think's winning the Super Bowl this year?
I'm gonna ask the worst questions. Things that I look. It's gonna be a Japanese developer that doesn't even speak English.
He's coming out of WrestleMania with a title.
Bro walks up to Miyamoto. So what do you do?
So what is your job? You look like one of them video game people.
Anywho, that's the spiel. Come hang out with us tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv/PrestonVersusElijah.
Look, we talked about the merch store. Go check out them. They're important, kind of.
Sometimes.
Remember to rate us 5 stars. Leave a review on all the podcast services. We love it. Even if you hate it, do it. It's cool. Like, you can call me a piece of shit in your review, but do it while giving but do it while giving me 5 stars.
Say it was a fear. Say it was a fear of you to save Howdy or save Howdy's Roomba from him.
Yes, there you go. So, that's so good, Sal. Like my first question to anybody at the Game Awards. So, are you as lost as I am? So, we will hang out for a few minutes after the show, just to kind of hang out and talk to chat because we really don't interact with y'all too much. So, if you got any questions, you got any thoughts, any feedback on ideas that we have for shirts, what y'all want to see, would you buy them? That actually probably would be smart to get kind of feedback before we make these things and nobody buys them except for us. So
if you're listening on Apple or Spotify and you want to come ask us questions live, we do this every Wednesday.
There's a text line too.
Yep.
We're not using that tonight. No one texted in, and we didn't pin it because it's now an automatic thing that shows up in the stream.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to Baka. I miss you. Come back, please.
Yes, come back. Come back, Baka. Come back.
But in the meantime, Baka, enjoy your time over across the pond. But we do miss you.
We do miss you. Anyways, y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all again soon. And as always, rub-a-dub-dub.
Thanks for hanging in the tub.
Night shift blues, so we fire up the stream. 2 dads raising hell, chasing whiskey dreams. Soap suds spilling like some midnight truth. Talking live from the tub, don't need no booth. 2 dads, 1